This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, and welcome you all to another Friday rambling of mine, a very ad hoc rambling. There wasn't anything sort of major that had happened that I want to talk about, but I did want to talk about a sudden addiction that I got through this week. As you all know, I've been playing Dragon's Dogma and Pillars of Eternity, but outside of that, with the tiny little time that I have left, I was just having this real itch since I did the Friday live stream with Craig. I was just having this little itch to play a single player game that was just going to sort of hook me in. And partway through the week, I put Evil Within 1 on because I had this thing bugging me where I felt like Evil Within 1 had a better vibe, had a better feel, had a better movement of the character and all this sort of stuff. I just felt like there was something missing with the second one. And I have to say that when I put it on, I did immediately feel like it was more comfortable. Now, it could be that I just spent so much time on Evil Within 1, although I never finished it, that I'm just more comfortable with it. But I don't think it is. I do feel like the engine in Evil Within 1 was smoother to play. So it was interesting just to play. I just played through the first level. It just felt slightly smoother. It felt more natural. And the world felt much darker, much creepier. The whole thing was just more... The second one just feels like, oh, I'm in an American town, and it just kind of like, I don't know. I think I said this already in another vlog or something, or in the live stream itself. It did feel very The Last of Us sort of vibe to it. So it didn't have that sort of haunting sensation that the first one did. But I'm going off on a tangent, people. That is not what this is about. So I put that on for, I don't know, an hour or so one night. And by the time I finished recording Pillars and recording Dragon's Dogma, and bear in mind that I've actually given the gym a wide berth this week, so that was with me coming away from work and coming home, just having a quick bite to eat, recording for 2.5, 3 hours tops, which is basically 2 episodes, and then, having them rendering and such like while I do something else. So at most, in an evening, I'll get 2 recordings done, and at worst, I'll get 1 done. But after that, if I managed to do that and not go to the gym and everything else, then I had sort of an hour and a half to kill thereafter. So anyway, I tried the Evil Within, put that on for a bit. I put Resi 7 on for a bit because I still haven't sort of played that properly yet. I've only played the opener. And eventually, sort of Thursday night, I thought, oh, I know, because I bought Prey ages ago, dead cheap. But I'd already played the demo of it before it came out, the beta, and it just did not hook me in at all, which is why I didn't buy it at launch, and is also why I did a video on this channel, which you'll still find, a vlog, saying Prey disappoints and other stuff. So I think I was a little bit harsh on it, because now that I've put it in and started playing it on Thursday, I'm absolutely addicted to it. I couldn't put it down. I was really late going to bed on Thursday night to what I usually am. And I was just absolutely engrossed in it. If I could have played it until 3 in the morning, I would have done. I've just got hooked on it. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I don't know what it was about the beta or the demo, whatever they called it at the time, but I just did not get that sort of hook at the time. And I kind of felt when I got to the end of it, I was just glad to be that's done and now I can move on to other stuff. But this is not the case now. Now, I don't know whether it's a different mindset or whether it's just the full game just feels better because everything's there and you're getting more engrossed in it, or whether it was just because you knew in the demo it was like, I'm going to get to do a couple of things and that'll be it. So I guess maybe it is a difficult game to show off in a demo because you've got that underlying tone of I'm just going to see, an area, possibly see a couple of enemies. I'm not going to get, I mean, I think they only gave you the glue gun and blimey, I didn't even put my phone on silent, people. Somebody's famous texting me while I'm in the middle of a vlog. And it's my dad. God bless him, the lovely man. So I shall text him back the minute I'm finished this. So where was I before I was rudely interrupted? Anyway, so I think just throwing myself into the game, and I'd remembered the opener, so I knew just to where to sort of go. I mean, it's pretty easy anyway to get going. But I think almost immediately it was like, bang, here's something to pick up. Bang, here's something to pick up. Bang, here's some things to upgrade. I think all of that stuff came quite quickly. And I'll tell you what's really surprising is that it's got kind of a Bioshock feel to it so far as the collecting goes. But when the stuff you're picking up really helps you. So, I mean, I've not even got to the point where I'm using the recycler to just sort of compress stuff, but I haven't got to the stage where I can actually do anything with that stuff yet. So I've not even got to the interesting part, which is making weapons, making ammo for the weapons, all that sort of stuff. I haven't even got there yet. So, I've been playing it for a couple of hours, and it is just, I've only seen 2 different types of enemy, and the first time I saw the big one, there's like the little creepy ones that kind of jitter about really quickly, and then you've got the sort of big tall ones that sort of stomp around. And I'm playing it on normal, and I was really reluctant to take on one of the big ones, but the first time I did so, well, I crept past them twice and didn't mess with them, waited for them to move on. And then by the time I'd picked up a handgun, I think I've got a glue gun, a handgun, there's a crossbow that shoots like the foam darts, like a toy one, and you're supposed to use it for distracting enemies or hitting switches from a distance and stuff like that, which is quite a cool idea. I haven't used it yet. I've got that. I picked up a device that you throw or attach to things and they get attracted to it. And you don't get to keep that though. I accidentally threw it thinking it was a permanent device that I could pick back up again, but you must pick those up you have to hang on to them so that you can sort of use them in a really difficult area where you need to shift them out of the way because they're attracted to this sort of luminescent light or something it is. We've got that, and we've got, I think that's probably it weapon wise at the moment, but I did pick up shotgun bullets, so I know there's a shotgun coming at some point. But you're also picking up to finish that, the big, I came across one of the big guys stomping around, so I thought, right, let's give it a go. So basically the best thing to do is you glue gun them so that they're stuck. They get covered in this glue stuff that you spray at them. It doesn't last long, so you have to, make it worthwhile. So you switch over to the pistol and just blast them until they're done. And they weren't too bad, So I've not. The first time, to be fair, I tried to take one on was a bit silly because I didn't realise he was there. I went running into the room. He saw me. He came running after me. At that point, I didn't have a pistol or anything. I only had the glue gun, so I died. The game's pretty forgiving from that perspective because you can save anywhere, so you can just hit save. It doesn't take you to the last checkpoint, doesn't take you to the last whatever. It saves you exactly where you were. Certainly the few I've tried. So that was really good as well because there's nothing worse in a game like that where you're taken right back, to the beginning of the level and you have to go and pick up key cards again and all that sort of stuff. So that's quite cool. Didn't mind it so much in Dead Space. Dead Space did take you back to a save point. So, but I didn't mind it in Dead Space. Maybe that was just because it was fun. There was a few frustrating times with it, but especially on the 3 saves only run when it had been 2 hours worth of gameplay and you died. So there's also the segment, the area of, there's a couple of places you can build up sort of powers by using this sort of, I can't forget what it's called now, but you can build up your own personal sort of powers and abilities, if you like. Things like increasing your health like you would expect, increasing your ability to fix things, increasing your ability to upgrade weapons and all this sort of stuff. So there's loads and loads and loads of upgrade things, and you collect these items as you go around that give you points in order to unlock those. And you also pick up items that'll upgrade your suit, and I'm trying to remember, I've only picked up one and it was right at the end of my play last night, and it did something to my suit. I think it stopped electromagnetic pulses damaging me quite as much as they would have done. But there's a huge amount of slots you can fill in your suit, and it's quite interesting because you have to keep your suit in good order, so you have to repair it if it gets damaged. If you get whacked by enemies, you have to watch how much damage your suit's taking, because the more damage your suit's taken, the more damage you'll take with each hit. So if your suit's got good integrity, then you'll get less damage as you hit. So it's a bit like a shield, I guess, in that respect. So all of these things, repair kits and stuff you pick up as you go, but I suspect that you'll be able to make a lot of this stuff once we get it's not called the recycling, but it's called something else, where you can take the recycled stuff and put it into the machine and make something, build something, and all these sorts of things. So I was just really surprised at how addicted I'd got to it so fast after being so disappointed with the demo. And maybe it was just a frame of mind thing, and it was also kind of jumps in a good way, as opposed to just sitting in a dark room. Like Evil Within and Resi and Outlast and all these games, like they're scary as feck, but they're also really disturbing. You know what I mean? They don't take you to a good place, people. But I found with Prey, it gives you jump moments, but it doesn't freak you out. You know, like it's kind of a good jump, really, that you get. So I kind of like that aspect of it as well. I mean, Dead Space was kind of like that, although there was bits of Dead Space that were like, oh, crap. But once you got used to it, you know. But, yeah, it was nice that... I mean, there was a few times I ended up chatting to Craig online while I was playing it, and there was a few times I was like, Jesus Christ. But it's because the aliens can basically hide themselves as objects. They're called mimics. Or it's a mimic ability. So you could be walking toward a coffee cup, a chair, or whatever, and go to... I mean, there's at one point you go to pick up a pistol and the thing just turns into one and it jumps at you. And it, you know, because they have that ability, anything in front of you can be a jump moment, which is quite clever. So my only concern with it is that I've only ever seen 2 enemies so far, and I've only ever seen 3 enemies in the whole of any of the footage I saw before it was released. And now that's not necessarily a bad thing if there's a lot more to it than that, but I'm already having to smack robots over the head because they've become, you know, corrupted or whatever. And that tends to slightly worry you a little bit as to, well, if we've got to turn our own stuff against us, what, you know, does that mean there's a lack of baddies? It was a bit like the Alien game was really good, but that came to that as well, because you had one alien chasing you around the ship. They had to give you other stuff to dodge in the ship, which meant that the only thing they had to really give you was the artificial intelligence that would attack you. So it kind of gets a little bit monotonous at that point, because it just becomes, you know, stealthing around them or whatever. But at the moment, I've got absolutely no grumbles whatsoever, and I'm proper hooked on it. So surprised. I'm trying to think of anything else. If there's any... I mean, I'm playing through as the woman. I thought the woman character looked better than the guy character. I don't think this character's ever spoken, so, you know, it's a bit RPG style like that, where everybody else is speaking but you're not. And the story so far is really, really good. Dead clever beginning, dead clever as to where you are and how you got there, and dead clever as to about how your journeys began and who triggered your story. So, I mean, it's really, like, so far, really clever, really cool, and really slick. The gameplay's fantastic, and I was a little bit worried at the beginning, because you can't, like, you don't pull left trigger to aim and right trigger to shoot like you would in a shooter. Your gun, when you've got it out, you just hit the trigger button to shoot. If you zoom in, which I think is right stick click, it does do a little bit of a zoom, and then you use the D-pad to go in and out. So it isn't meant to be a quick shot zoom sort of thing. It's meant to be for aiming the darts at, you know, door switches and disturbing, making enemies go somewhere else, and that sort of thing. Some more specific type stuff. So, and it does sort of free up a button to do something else with as well, which is quite cool, because the left trigger, I think, actually activates, if I remember rightly, it activates the move that I've just unlocked. It slows time down by 50%, so that you've got, I think, for 10 seconds, so that you can actually deal with multiple enemies or quick enemies, because the little tiny ones are so quick. You slow it down, it makes it so much easier. But that comes in itself with it's like another bar, like a health bar. I've forgotten what it's called now, but you have to keep that topped up as well in order to be able to do those moves. And again, you pick stuff up that gives you that back. So it's very, very cool. At each area you go into, there'll be something broken, something on fire, some reason you can't get through the next door. And I was worried that it was going to be, you've got to find a key card to get through the next door, and just, you know, constantly doing that. But it does give you the option to find other ways around your problems. And, you know, so even I've only played it for a few hours, and there's already multiple ways to get around places. You can use the glue gun to create a little sort of slide or walkway, so you can get up to a ledge. You can use hatches to get around areas and through into another area instead of having to find the key card if you can find the hatches. There's all sorts of little things that you're kind of picking up on, and you can you can pick up objects and move them to get to a hatch, but sometimes you'll reach it and it'll be too heavy for you to lift. So there's a reason to upgrade, your lifting power to something else and that sort of thing. So I'm really impressed with it, I have to say, and I feel really bad now that I did. I mean, it's a good job not millions of people watch my channel. But I feel really bad that I kind of said that Prey disappoints, because I made that judgment based on a demo, and that's not really giving the game a good shout. And I hat off to it. So far, I'm absolutely addicted to it. Cannot wait to play more next week or over the weekend. So I'll be squeezing lots of that in between the Dragon's Dogma and Pillars of Eternity. Now, Pillars of Eternity and Dragon's Dogma are both slowing down in their viewings now, and also in their thumbs up, people. Now, come on. If you like what I'm doing, just come on. It's just a click. Just a little click. Just do it. Just do it. You wanna. You wanna. So the viewings are cooling off. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop playing it or anything, but I am aware of it, so I will be interjecting other things, because there's much as though I like completing Let's Plays and having the full thing there for someone to watch at some point, I have to be realistic about the channel and try and put content up that people are going to be interested in watching. So I will continue to try and see those through without any doubt. I'm actually loving Pillars of Eternity. It's a beautiful game. I apologise wholeheartedly at my reading sometimes. I mean, sometimes I'm fine with reading, and other times, for the life of me, I just can't read a sentence. Don't know what that's all about. I mean, it could just be that the way they're wording stuff. I mean, to be fair, I've never been the world's greatest out loud reader anyway, but I've actually found it quite therapeutic reading the stuff out. But I do apologise for the times that I stumble my way through these sentences, and there is a lot of old speak in there and a lot of weird sentences, so I am trying my best. I mean, it tends to get better as I move on with the hours in the same day. If I record 2 in the same day, the first episode's generally worse than the second. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. The music's gorgeous. The fighting got really frustrating at one point because I was just getting my ass handed to me by this group of bandits that caught me out in the middle of a forest. So I moved on from that to another village. So plenty of saves in that game is well worthwhile. I did 2 episodes. I posted another episode up today. This is Friday, 27th, I think, October 2017, in case you're watching this in 20 years' time. And yeah, so I posted a couple more up to over yesterday and today. I get those are actually the ones that have fallen in viewers the most. But I know that a lot of you well, there were certainly a few people that said they subbed specifically because they wanted to see more Pillars, so I will keep doing it. And more than anything, I've been enjoying it anyway. But as always, as I say in these things, it's all down to time. And what I don't want to happen is that the channel becomes something that makes me hate gaming. Because if I keep doing something that I'm not enjoying, then it's not fun for you to listen to me talk about it while I'm playing it, and it becomes a bore fest. So I try and make sure that I'm playing it at a time when I feel like playing it. This week was a little bit different, so far as I did try and push out quite a lot of episodes, but I think we did it all right. I think Pillars has kind of fallen views-wise quite heavily in comparison to Dogma. Dogma, over the period of time, will probably still get up to about 100 views at least for one of the videos, which is pretty cool in my little world. So they're still pretty popular as far as my channel goes anyway. But I'm keen to see both of these games through. I'm really enjoying both of them. If I can get a lot more of those done and a lot more of Prey done, then I'll be more than happy this week. And there is also 2 RPGs which I want to play. Well, at least 2 episodes of Let's Play on the Xbox One, because if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I post up Xbox One X. Hey, that was a bit premature. That's not for another week, Stephen. I post up Xbox back compat games when they are launched, especially the RPG ones. So I've done Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3. I've done Dragon Age Origins. Actually, I'd love to do more of that. So I have 2 more, which I will tell you about another time. In fact, I might record a couple of episodes of one of them this weekend, or maybe even both of them. So I've got 2 more Xbox One back and Pat things to do, at least 2 episodes of each of those. So I'm going to interject those into what we're doing. Definitely, if I don't get to do it this weekend, I would definitely interject it through next week, just to bring a little bit of variety to the channel. And outside of that, I will continue to do what we have been doing all week. I am, people. You'll be very surprised, because I never do this on a Friday. I never have a beer on a Friday. You know me. I barely touch the stuff. Oh, that was marvellous, that was. Well, cheers to you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. It has been, as always, an honour and a privilege serving for you in this vlog, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy, folks. Bye.